I am a specialist in neurosurgery and have worked with the human brain for nearly 4 decades. I want to discuss a topic with you that may be somewhat unexpected. When a person reaches around 80 years of age, something beyond normal aging occurs. The body does not simply slow down or weaken, rather, it changes its biological programming. It's as if a new command is issued from within the brain, and the entire body begins to operate based on new rules that usually no one is aware of, even many doctors. This phenomenon is not an exception, it occurs in all humans. According to research published in Lancet Healthy Longevity, all individuals after crossing the age of 80 enter a stage in which 5 irreversible biological changes take place in the body. It doesn't matter if you have a history of exercise, have always eaten healthily, or have an ideal lifestyle, from muscles to taste sensation, from skin to brain activity, and even sleep cycles, everything enters a new pattern. Instead of high performance, the body focuses on survival and energy conservation. This is a point that many people do not realize. Aging is not a gradual decline, rather, it is a quiet and hidden reconstruction in all organs of the body. The body begins to rewrite the mechanisms that have kept you alive for years. Some of these changes contribute to greater protection. However, others can lead to issues such as physical weakness, early fatigue, and memory decline. In this video, I will discuss these 5 fundamental changes that occur after the age of 80, changes that cannot be prevented by tests or medication. And this quiet journey of change begins right where we taste life, from the tongue. Taste buds gradually shrink, and flavors are no longer perceived as before. When you enter your 8th decade of life, the world doesn't just slow down, its taste changes too. One of the first processes that occurs completely silently is the reduction of taste sensitivity. This is not just about loss of appetite or changing preferences, rather, the body is changing how it processes flavors in the brain. Studies show that by the age of 80, nearly 70% of human taste buds are lost. These small structures that once allowed us to sense the taste of morning coffee or the sweetness of ripe fruit gradually become flattened and less active. Each taste bud has a lifespan of about 10 days and must constantly be replaced. However, with aging, the body can no longer replace them as it once did. The result is that foods gradually become lifeless and unexciting. But the issue is not just about enjoying food. The sense of taste is a kind of warning system. It tells you, is this food spoiled or fresh? Is this flavor a sign of poison or vitamin? Is this amount of salt and sweetness dangerous or appropriate? When this sense diminishes, people unknowingly add more salt to their food, or consume more sugar. And this is where the real problem begins. A study in 2021 showed that individuals who have lost more than half of their sense of taste are up to 40% more likely to experience high blood pressure, diabetes, not because of age, but due to compensating for taste with unhealthy additives. On the other hand, saliva production also decreases after the age of 80. Saliva carries flavor molecules. When it decreases, even the tastiest foods seem bland. Many elderly people say, foods don't taste like they used to. This is true, not psychological or emotional. Both the tongue and the taste nerves, as well as the salivary glands, are simultaneously undergoing changes. Scientists refer to this condition as taste fatigue. Additionally, the brain relies on the sense of smell to fully interpret taste. A significant portion of taste pleasure actually comes from the olfactory bulb, a part that naturally declines in sensitivity after the age of 80. When these two senses weaken simultaneously, the brain cannot reconstruct the complete experience of flavor. As a result, the brain receives less pleasure from eating. Appetite decreases. And if not managed, the body gradually enters a state of hidden nutritional deficiencies. So what we perceive as food becoming tasteless is, in fact, a reduction in coordination between the tongue, nerves, salivary glands, and the taste processing centers in the brain. This is a natural change, but recognizing and managing it can significantly preserve quality of life. Change number 3. The brain begins to adjust and rebuild its pathways. When age reaches around 80, a quiet yet significant change occurs within the brain. The brain starts to create new pathways between nerve cells, not because it is making mistakes, but because it is adapting to new life conditions. At this age, some of the brain's connective tissue, which acts like roads to transmit messages between different parts, naturally becomes less abundant and thinner. Therefore, the brain decides to construct new and alternative routes to ensure that tasks continue to be accomplished. This state is called brain adaptation. This means, you still think, you still learn, and you still retain memories, but perhaps a bit more slowly than before. Not because the brain has weakened, but because it chooses a longer route to reach its destination. This is why, sometimes you enter a room and forget why you came, or you pause in the middle of a sentence, or a name that is, on the tip of your tongue, comes to mind a moment later. These are not signs of illness. They indicate that your brain is intelligently creating new pathways. And the beautiful thing is, the brain retains emotional feelings and memories more powerfully in older age. That's why you might forget the name of an object, but the name of someone you love or a cherished moment from the past remains completely clear and vivid. The emotional part of the brain remains stronger and more stable. But there is an important point: sometimes this rapid rebuilding leads to brief mental pauses. These are neither permanent nor dangerous, just moments when the brain is organizing itself. If you pause for a moment, forget a word, or lose your train of thought for a few seconds, breathe and be patient. It's your brain adjusting to life. And every time you speak, read, or even take a walk, these new pathways become stronger and clearer. Your brain is still with you, it just moves at a slower pace. And these steps are a sign of life continuing, not an end. Change number 2. Your muscles and body enter a new phase. When you reach around 80 years of age, your body doesn't just become a little weaker, rather, your muscles, joints, and body structure begin to function in a new way. These changes are natural, but they require awareness and attention. Over time, your muscles become slower and thinner, and their ability to contract and lift light objects decreases. At the same time, your joints may become stiffer, flexibility may decrease, and balance may become a bit more challenging, especially when standing or walking. However, here is a very important point: these are not signs of an end, rather, they indicate the body's adjustment to maintain a more active life. As muscles become less strong, your body develops new preferences, movement becomes slower but more consistent. Focus shifts to balance instead of speed. Safety takes precedence over excessive strain. For example, you may no longer be able to effortlessly climb stairs, but you can walk around your home with short, confident steps. Good news: regular gentle exercise and proper nutrition can slow this process down and maintain your quality of life. What you can do: move a little every day, take a short walk around the house, stroll in the garden, or use a chair for sit-to-stand exercises. Use light weights or resistance bands, with your doctor or physiotherapist's advice, to keep your muscles active. Maintain a balanced diet, especially enough protein, like white meat, fish, eggs, legumes, and colorful foods that are nutrient-rich. Improve your balance with simple exercises like standing on one leg or standing up without using the armrest, with a caregiver present. If your joints are painful or movement has become difficult, be sure to consult your doctor or physiotherapist for personalized solutions. Your body is still strong, it just moves more slowly to proceed with greater wisdom. Every step taken more slowly is a sign of a longer and higher quality life. Change number 1. Your sleep clock is reset. When you enter your 80s, one of the most significant and perhaps oddest changes is the fluctuation in your sleep pattern. Your body's biological clock, the circadian rhythm, that puts you to sleep at night and wakes you up in the morning, may become somewhat reversed. You may experience waking up at midnight, feeling drowsy after breakfast, being very tired before sunset. This issue is not insomnia, rather, it is due to the brain and the body's internal clock losing their coordination. Your circadian rhythm is controlled by a part of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. About 20,000 nerve cells process light signals received from the eyes and tell the body when to release hormones like melatonin and cortisol. As you age, your eyes absorb less light. The signals become weaker. The body no longer knows exactly when to sleep and when to wake up. This condition is known as advanced sleep phase syndrome in the elderly, and nearly 60% of people over 80 experience it. When the sleep rhythm changes, the following are also affected: body temperature, hormones, digestion and metabolism, heart rate and immune function. This is why your energy may fluctuate throughout the day and even the digestion process may change. But the good news is that with simple exercises and care, the body's rhythm can be reset. Small blue diamond practical solutions for improving sleep. Morning light, start your day with natural light to reset the internal clock. Gentle evening light, avoid bright and blue lights before bedtime. Meal timing, eat meals at regular times to keep the body's rhythm in sync. Light activity, take short walks, do stretching exercises on a chair, or engage in gentle workouts. Melatonin supplements if needed, under the supervision of a doctor. 5. Balance and the risk of falling. As you enter your 80s, your body changes to adapt to new conditions, and one of the areas that is gradually affected is the balance system. This system includes the inner ear, eyes, muscles, and brain, which work together to keep you standing and walking straight and balanced. With aging, the sensitivity of the inner ear decreases, muscles become slightly weaker, reactions slow down, and the brain takes longer to process information and send commands. The result of these changes can be a slightly limping or shaky gait, difficulty changing direction or stepping upstairs, and sometimes a risk of falling. However, this change is not a sign of weakness, rather, it is the body's intelligent adaptation to new conditions. Studies show that regular balance exercises, muscle activity, and a safe environment can reduce the risk of falling. Simple exercises like standing on one leg, walking slowly along a wall, stretching on a chair, and using light weights, even for a few minutes a day, can strengthen muscle and balance. Additionally, the home environment should be well lit and free of obstacles, and appropriate non-slip shoes should be worn. Thus, a decrease in balance is natural but not a sign of an end. Your body is still active, neural pathways are still adapting, and with practice and care, you can maintain safe movement, independence, and confidence. Every small step, every brief exercise, and every action for a safe environment strengthens your balance system and provides you with a longer and safer life. When you enter your 80s, your body and brain change, but these changes are not signs of weakness or an end. Your sleep patterns may fluctuate, your muscles and balance may slow down slightly, your brain may create new pathways, your senses of taste and smell may diminish, and sometimes your steps may become shaky. All of this is the way your body chooses to adapt and continue living. Every change, every pause, every gentle step is a sign of your intelligence and life. Your body is still active, your brain is still learning, and your heart can still continue with its rhythm. With movement, proper nutrition, natural light, and self-care, you can once again experience strength, balance, and joy. Remember, this stage of life is not an end, but a new chapter of wisdom, experience, and capability. Every day, every step, every breath is an opportunity to continue living with peace, hope, and independence. You are alive, you can still learn, move, laugh, and enjoy life. This is your true power.